joy away from me. Joy. Please don't take the joy away from me. Joy. Please don't take the joy away from me. Joy. Joy 99.7 FM.
Right, a very good evening to you. It's my pleasure to welcome you to your Christian infotainment program, your favorite Christian infotainment program, A Walk with Jesus, right here on Joy 99.7 FM. For a month now, we've been trying to understand womanhood and address issues regarding women. So far, we've learned that every woman is unique and fully equipped to function positively wherever they find themselves. Now, the assertion that it's impossible to understand women because they are complex beings and all also surfaced in our discourse. Our resourceful guests, Reverend Anthony Dzadzra, who has taken time to experience and research on women, has been explaining that it is possible for men to understand some women, especially their wives, if they live with them in knowledge. In the book, or in his book, Woman Redefined, a spiritual journey to unveil the gem of creation, Reverend Dzadzra established that men and women are different, as stated in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 27. And therefore, both species must understand their differences and live in harmony. Having dealt with that, we want to now shift our attention to how men can help women identify and harness their potential. Hence the topic for this week's edition of A Walk with Jesus, harnessing the potential of a woman, perspectives from the Bible. A very good evening to you, and I warmly welcome you to yet another insightful and interesting discussion as far as the subject of womanhood is concerned. My name is Ato Acquah, and I'm ably supported by way of production by my able producer, Michaela Nye. It will be very informing, and so I would entreat that you get your notepad, your notebook ready to jot down some points. If you're a couple, kindly sit close to your set and tune in, stay glued, make sure that you stick to that which we are going to discuss, because it's going to be a blessing, to your love life, to your relationship, to your marriage. I'll be introducing my resourceful guests tonight, but you are free to join us on Joy 99.7 FM. Your comments and questions are also very welcome via WhatsApp. That's 055-11-11997. Now remember that we are live on Facebook. We're live on Facebook, so do well to connect. Share the link. Share so that friends and loved ones will also get connected and be blessed. Once again, you're warmly welcome to this week's edition of A Walk with Jesus. My name is Ato Acquah. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this musical break.
Benefits boy Moses, please. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah.
He was playing.
Yeah. Have you seen my baby? Have you seen my love? Have you seen my woman, my personal gift from God? I'm more than no data person. This one a full package blessing. God so loved the boy, blessed me with the precious jewel. Oh, oh, oh. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found my own flesh, the bone of my bone. Yeah, yeah. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found the one that she they give me joy. I go carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. Now you ain't get my heart, nothing will tear us apart. I go carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. My baby don't get late, she's looking so take away. If I did just 1,000 before we go just 10,000 together. Oh my darling, me and you go dating forever. I know this such again. Everything I want all in order. My precious woman, my love. Hey. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found my own flesh, the bone of my bone. Yeah, yeah. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found the one that she they give me joy. I go carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. Now you ain't get my heart, nothing will tear us apart. I go carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. My baby don't get play, she's looking so take away. I go carry on, yeah. Hey. Benefits boy Moses, please. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah.
He was playing.
Have you seen my baby? Have you seen my love? Have you seen my woman, my personal gift from God? I'm more than no data person. This one a full package blessing. God so loved the boy, blessed me with the precious jewel. Oh, oh, oh. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found my own flesh, the bone of my bone. Yeah, yeah. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found the one that she they give me joy. I go carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. Now you ain't get my heart, nothing will tear us apart. I go carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. My baby don't get late, she's looking so take away. If I did just 1,000 before we go just 10,000 together. Oh my darling, me and you go dating forever. I know this such again. Everything I want all in order. My precious woman, my love. Hey. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found my own flesh, the bone of my bone. Yeah, yeah. I don't find good thing. I'm no longer looking. I found the one that she they give me joy. I go carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. Now you ain't get my heart, nothing will tear us apart. I go carry on, carry on,
very beautiful song there. Love song coming from the ministry of Moses Bliss, titled Carry Am Go. It's a song he composed and recorded just around his wedding time. Sang it to his wife, his dear wife. And Odoyanede, you know, but then beautiful song right here on A Walk with Jesus, right on Joy 99.7 FM, your superstation, channel of blessing and your place of inspiration. We're live also on Facebook, so kindly do well to connect, share the link, share so that friends and loved ones will also be connected and be blessed. Tonight, on our journey to understand women, we are discussing harnessing the potential of a woman, perspective from the Bible. And Reverend Anthony Dzadzra of Fountain Gate Ministries has been a blessing right from the onset since we began this journey. It's been helping us regarding the subject of womanhood, understanding womanhood. But then I'm going to make Reverend Dzadzra do a quick recap of how far we have come. Then we'll be delving into today's subject as far as the series is concerned. Pretty soon we're all going to be having Mrs. Maureen Frimpong, Family Life Counsellor, and at ICGC Liberty Temple, Ashongman, and also a recruiter and social entrepreneur right here in the studios, also to be a blessing to us. When she comes, you get to know who she is, right then. So I have Reverend Dzadzra right here in the studios. Reverend Dzadzra, very good evening to you. How are you doing?
Good.
Right. I hope church was fine today.
Wonderful.
We bless the Lord.
Powerful message by our senior pastor.
We bless the
Dominion.
Lord. We bless
Very
the
wonderful
Lord.
message.
We bless the Lord. Reverend Dzadzra, I want us to, for the sake of those who didn't begin the series with us, do a quick recap on our journey to understand womanhood. Then we can delve, into the subject for today. Yeah. Right.
Thank you, Pastor. I think we started with trying to define womanhood, who a woman is. We got to understand that God created the woman to be a helpmate to the man. God had assigned the man work on this earth, and God felt that the man needed a woman or a companion or a helmet. So the woman was created as a helmet to come and help the man accomplish what God has set for him to do. And I established that the woman is a good person, or is a good creature. It's a good creation of God. And it is important that we get to know who that woman is, what her role is, what her potential is, and tap into the potential. I said many men will not get to their potential if they don't harness the power of the woman, or they don't allow the woman to play the right role in their lives. Last week we talked about the man is different from the woman, or the woman is different. The woman is different in so many ways. Biologically, the body, we see there's some difference. The brain structure, the hormones. We came to understand that the woman has a different way of processing, emotional processing. The woman is more emotional. The woman is more relational. We came to talk about the fact that the woman, the man is more analytical. The woman will use her sixth sense. She's more intuitive. We also talk about the fact that when it comes to love, intimacy, the woman is more intimate. The woman loves relationship. The woman loves spending time with her more than material things. The woman enjoys you having time for her. Yes, so we went into those other things, and we talk about the fact that the woman has her self-esteem rises and falls like a wave. There are times that the woman's self-esteem goes down, and that is where she needs the help of a man.
That's what we call mood swings.
Mood swings. And it's important the man realizes that the man supports the woman when she gets to those times.
I see.
Yes. So I think in a summary, that is what we've been.
Right. Now, I mean, with all the descriptions you've given, juxtaposing the woman with the man, you get to realize that the contrasts between the man and the woman are so sharp, so sharp. The differences are just like the east and the west, north and the south, So how is it possible for the man to live in harmony, with his wife, looking at the differences and how sharp these differences are, before we even get into and identifying the potentials in the woman and harnessing them?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is to seek knowledge. You must
on whose side, the man or the woman's side?
Well, both sides. The woman should understand herself. So in the book, in my book, I talk about the woman understanding who she is. It's very important for her to understand who she is and the value of her value. Secondly, the man should get to understand the woman. You must spend time, especially your wife. You must spend time to understand your wife. Understand who she is. The women are different. Like every woman is different. Let me say it that way. Every woman is different. So I cannot really coach you.
So different from another woman.
I cannot really coach you how or all the steps you can take to handle your wife. No, there's nothing like that. Yeah, so it's important that, and nobody can theoretically teach you how to handle your wife. You can only get to know your wife when you value her and you spend time to know her. And I gave the example that it's just like we go to school, you don't understand physics, you don't understand chemistry, but you spend time. You stay during the night, you wake up, you buy all the books, you go for all the teachers, you go for every extra classes just to understand chemistry to pass. You think that complex creature, you don't need to spend time to understand her. So it's all about spending time. And every man who desires to understand a woman, you understand the woman. Every man who understands, it's like when man says man will go to the moon or will go to space. Man went to space.
Yes.
So the same way, man can conquer and understand woman.
So the assertion that it's impossible to understand a woman. Woman, you can't understand a woman.
I don't think so.
It's neither here nor there.
Yeah, you can't understand all women. They are too complex for you. But your wife, the one you live with, you can understand her.
That's interesting.
Because after a number of years, you know what she wants. You know her mood swings. You know what she doesn't like. So you can peacefully live with her. Yeah.
That's interesting. You're warmly welcome, Ato Maureen.
Thank you very much. That's
How are you
good to
doing?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you doing?
Right. Grace, by grace. Yes. So we're looking at the subject of womanhood, through the month. It's a journey we began from the beginning of the month, and today we're zooming in on harnessing the potential of a woman. Yes, looking at this from the biblical perspective. But then I'd want to first of all ask you, a woman. God created so many things, and among the many things He created a woman.
Yes.
What's your definition of who a woman is?
I believe that a woman is a person of value. A woman is somebody who have been created for a purpose, and so a woman is that person who must place value on herself and be deliberate to create or to go back to her source and find out what her purpose is and push to fulfill it. That's who I know a woman is.
So that you made a statement to go back to her source. In this case, is her source the man or
in this point is God first.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't want us to replace the place of a woman to a place of a wife. Sometimes I think society has not been fair to switch the roles. That as soon as you see a woman, you think she's a wife. A woman was created with a man, but was presented to the man as a wife. But God created them male and female, so they are compatible.
So a woman could not necessarily be a wife.
No, we're talking about a woman from zero until she gets married. What is happening to her from zero till she gets married? There's a purpose for her life. There's value placed on her. There's an understanding that she has to have as a person first before she comes to play the role of a wife. But most of the times when we talk about women, people just rush and say and give you all the characteristics of a wife. But a woman may not be a wife.
So school us, what must be added to the woman for her to be a wife? Because if a man is going out there looking for a woman, definitely it's a wife he's looking for. When a man finds, it's a wife he finds.
Yes. So it really depends. The man is searching, but who is the woman? She has to know who she is to even accept what the man is proposing to her. But if she doesn't know herself, and that's why we're facing what we're facing today. But if we're talking about a woman, I would think that we should talk about her as a person, so she understands herself. But every time we place her to compare her to a man, or to say that her value is only paramount because she is one with a man, then it becomes a bit dicey. What if I'm not married? Who am I? What am I here for? What purpose has God given me? And from creation, the Bible said he made them male and female. I think that a woman was made, but the wife was created and presented to Adam.
What's the difference?
So the woman was made in God's mind of creation. He knew he wanted two men. So a man and a woman. So maybe for sexual reasons, I would say a woman was created, and that is where God said that it was not good for a man to be alone. I'll make him a mate comparable to himself. So if they are one in that place of creation, male and female, he created them. And then he said, when he created man and everything, and he put the man in a garden, he saw that it was not good for that man to be alone, but I'll make him one who is comparable to himself. So now the woman was formed and took from Adam, created and presented to Adam as a wife. So Adam named her woman because she was a type of a man. But in the place of being a wife, that is where she had to keep the garden. That is the role she has to play as a wife. But in the beginning, the woman is one who is blessed by God, who is fruitful, and who is expected to multiply. So that is the woman, a person of value, a person who has been created in God's image. And he said when he created a male and female, the woman was not outdoored. But because Adam, I guess, his kitchen was dirty, the Lord said, I have to quickly create that woman and make this garden beautiful. And then he brought the woman forth. But she was made before with Adam, but she was in Adam. But when the reason of marriage, for this reason a man will leave. So now Eve was, I think that maybe because Eve was presented as a wife, we think that woman is just about marriage. But before, he created a male and female, blessed them and said, be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth. It was for the man and the female, the male and female. So that is what the woman should understand first. But if we're talking about the role of a wife, now because of hierarchical reasons, the man is the leader in the place of marriage. In that institution of marriage, the man is your leader. And then the woman is to submit. But if I'm not married to you, it's mutual respect we have for one another. I don't have any business submitting or you asking for submission because he created us male and female. But in the place of marriage, you are to submit yourself to your own husband as unto the Lord. So I
get the difference. But have you heard this? Should I call it a thought pattern in our society? A woman is a very complex person.
Oh, yes. We think men are also complex.
You also think men are complex?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I thought men are very simple people, so straightforward
The simplicity is complex to us. Yeah.
So what do you think of that assertion?
I think that a woman is complex, yes. Like Peter said, he says we should dwell with them with understanding. So if you know how complex a woman is and you're dealing with her, you have to be deliberate in your actions with her. But if you're dealing with a woman and think she's another man, then you would not have a good relationship with that woman. But women are complex, and so when you're dealing with this type of a person, you must have an understanding of what words mean to her, of what touch means to her. You have to understand whom you are dealing with. But if you deal with a woman as though she is another man, logical, what I'm saying is A, it should be A. The woman may see A and say there's something behind the A. We're always adding. We know we're incubators, so we're always adding things, adding value to things. So what you think is just a white table, oh, can't you see the scratches, details? So that woman is complex. But when a man comes into her life, he must understand that I am not dealing with somebody like me, but I'm dealing with somebody who is different from me. So you need to understand who a woman and your woman is. Like Mr.
Reverend Dzadzra.
Dzadzra said, sorry. You have to understand the person and make it a deliberate effort to meet her at the point of her need, so that the relationship is one that is viable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we're on same page with regards to the woman understanding herself,
Yes.
and the man understanding a woman, his woman. But then, if we want to help the woman to understand who she is, where do we start from? And how do we journey through?
From the source first.
Okay.
God.
Okay.
I think that a woman should understand that she's a blessed person. And over the years, I think society, politics have not been too kind to women. And so the woman feels that she's evolved to become somebody who has to compete with a man. But first, understand that God blessed you. He placed a value on you. And from that place, you can harness any potential that you think is trapped in you. But if you don't understand that you're a person of value, that God was intentional about creating you, and take that and break it down to every area of your life, then you will be one who is always confused. And we see a lot of it today where every woman is attaching her failure to because of a man, because my father didn't take care of me. So there's a misfit there, because we don't understand who we are, that our source, first of all, is from God. And until we go back to Him to seek the value He has placed in us, and also to be the people to express that value, we cannot do much, but always compete with men as if it is a field of competition. But no, it's a field where women have to come out as people of value and know that whatever I put to my hand to do, I can do it. I'll be able to do it because my source is the Lord. And I think that first, remember that you are a person of value. You're valuable, and do not look down on yourself or despise yourself because you are a woman.
Reverend Dzadzra, at what point should this orientation start? Is it from home? Is it the duty of the parents of let me use the word, a girl, giving her this orientation, or probably it's the work of the church, or probably the school? Whose duty is it, to give the woman, the female, this orientation that we're talking about?
Well, I think everybody, all of us.
Yeah, all of us have to
starts from the mother, especially, because the child spends a lot of time with the mother. Yeah, so from the family, I think the schools, the churches, yes, we should all help. And
that hasn't been happening.
It's been. I don't think it's something that's not going on. It's going on.
So why do we still have this gap? Still,
it's a huge one. The gap is wide, so we are gradually closing it. It's not something you can eradicate quickly. So it takes some time. So all of us should be on board. The churches should talk about it. The schools, yes, the schools should talk about it. Just like you are doing at Joy FM now. Yeah, everywhere.
But there's a lot of woman empowerment. There's woman empowerment that woman empowerment. I mean, I see and hear a lot of woman empowerment stuff, and Maureen. But then the gap is still there. What accounts for it?
I think that, again, I would say the source, home. I grew up with a father who didn't, I never understood who a man and woman is until I started working. Because in my home, my dad was one who would say, you're valuable. He didn't say because you were a girl. The only times he would say that is if he's teaching you domestic things. But apart from that,
as a girl,
yes. So I've never been particularly somebody who would compete for anything because I know my value. And so what I have is what I am very content with, because I have understood that I'm a valuable person from home. And then when I went to school, for instance, I remember when I was in primary school, my teacher said that I was too inquisitive. And my father asked, why did the teacher say it? And I said that if I don't understand a question, I ask. But at that time, I guess that girls were not supposed to talk like I would. If I didn't understand, I would speak, because at home, I've been given that opportunity that if you have a problem, ask. It's better for you to ask than to guess what the other person is thinking. And so from home, I had that confidence that I couldn't be broken. And then I came to the Word of God, to church, and I saw that God was my Father. I understood that place that my biological father had placed value on me. And so when I read in the Bible that God had a purpose for me, it made sense. And I saw how my father would invest in education. He would invest in you to be exposed to things that he admired or thought that would be valuable for you in the future as well. So when the pastor was talking about God the Father, I understood who he is to me. And so as a woman, I place that value on myself, and then I express it in whatever I do. I don't see sex. I see purpose. I see that I am able, capabilities. I don't see he's a man, I'm a woman, unless in the context of marriage. But if we're in a room and I can say something, I can do something to create change, I should be able to say, I don't see sex. I see mental capacity, capabilities. That's what I see. Because from home, from the church, environment, society has not done well to support women, because you start hearing, oh, she's not submissive. Is she married? You want to check if she's married, first of all, if she's doing well. So society has not really helped that woman. And I think that's why a lot of these, what do you call it? A lot of these empowerment things are going on. It is good, but to an extent, it makes us feel like we have to compete with a man. But see yourself as a valuable person. Whatever you have placed on the table, don't place your sex on the table. Place your capabilities. And that way, if we talk about Deborah, we talk about Esther, I never see that a maid could call her servants to pray and fast in a country like where she was. But she did that. She didn't think about what advice she do, what didn't she do. She thought about something, thought that it would work, and she went out to do it. But sometimes we want to belittle ourselves and say, oh, because I'm a woman, nobody will listen to me. Speak. Let that word be as powerful, not as powerful as the man's word. The man is his own person. You are a valuable person. Take it that way, but don't always have to put the man on a table and say, I want to be better than the man, so that it would say, what a man can do, a woman can do also. Then it becomes a bit irritating. You are a person of value. Keep it that way. When you go anywhere, let it be you and what you can offer. When you do that, people begin to see capabilities and not sex. Because with sex as a woman, you would always be demeaned because it is a woman again. But when you are excellent, you can't go wrong about it. So empowerment is good, yes. But let's move away from competing with men, because we're unique people. That's it. You're a woman, you're valuable. Just keep it at that and place your best bet on everything that you do. And I think it would help us. But I mean, empowerment is good. But
that doesn't tell that. I mean, empowerment is not good. But then it looks as though it's the woman of yesterday has made the woman of today who she is today.
Yes.
You know, the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because it's same women. There's someone who said that women are their own enemies. You know, it is the woman who is telling another woman that you've got to use what you have to get what you want. You know, and that's the thought pattern out there. I mean, so all over on social media, I have young ladies, 23-year-old girl who's you listen to her, she's so brilliant, she could do, like you're saying, she could do something great for herself, but it has been drummed into her subconscious I'm saying that on the premise that if there is any learning to do about the woman, is it the man who should learn about the woman, like Reverend Dzadzra said, or is the woman who should learn about herself and correct her errors?
Yes, I think it's both sides, because you are given and you are also taken. So for those, for instance, in a marriage counseling class, I like to do role expectation. You just have a role expectation of who your wife is. So the man would tell me what he sees who a wife is, because we're all from different cultures and backgrounds.
The man will have to tell you
who a wife is. Because, for instance, if I grew up in a traditional family, my father is a provider. My mother is supposed to be the nurturer, the homekeeper. And I'm married to a man who says, Obani, it was so hot, sitting in Moria, you know. And you hear this and you're scared, because in your family, the man is doing traditionally provider. And then now you come into marriage and you're thinking that, oh, if I have a child, I can go off work 1 or 2 years and then take care of my children. Now the man is saying that you should even work harder than him because you're supposed to be his helper. So if I don't have that role expectation, you may say that I'm one who likes to be served on a table. Today with modernity and everything, a wife can say, I'm not your watcher and all of that. I won't do all of this. But who do you think a wife is? When we know what you say a wife is, then we can ask your wife, are you able to become that wife to him? That is why it's a finding, not a taking. He who finds a wife, because you need to have an expectation of who that wife is. Is she the one you have found? And is there room for improvement? She can say, no, as for me, I can't serve any man. If you need your food in the microwave, for instance, it doesn't make us chefs or cooks. Yes, for him in his mind, the wife he wants is one who will cook for him. But now women have left that beautiful responsibility that God has given us as nurturers and want to fight and say, I don't do this, I'm not a housewife. But Jael was a housewife. If she wasn't at home that day, Israel could not have that victory. So at that time of the birth of your children, you become a nurturer. And you may not be that professional you feel like, but if you don't have that value, you lose it and say that, oh, I feel ashamed not to go to work. People would say this and that about me. Again, it starts from that place. So if we're getting married, for instance, and we don't have that role expectation written for us to know where we are, who we are, then you cannot please the woman, and she cannot even offer herself to you, because from the foundation, there are things that we have omitted, and it is creating cracks in the marriage. And so, yes, the woman is complex, but since she's giving and receiving, the man ought to know who she is, and she has to know who she is to be able to define herself to the receiver as well. Then it makes it easier for all of us.
Right. So on that note, Reverend Dzadzra, you have written on this. School us. What are the potentials, the treasures in a woman that we've got to take note of, and how do we handle these treasures?
All right, so I think over the weeks we have been talking about those things already.
Yes.
Giving examples, citing examples. So this evening we want to rather spend some time talking about how to harness the potential, because we've established that the woman is a helpmate, and if you allow that woman to play that role, that woman will help you, the man, to achieve what God has assigned you to do. There are various things that I've listed in my book, but I think I start with, I say, making of a satisfied and fulfilled woman. The first one is that you must love your wife. You must love your wife.
You, the man.
Yes. The man must love the wife. There are so many scriptures that admonish a man to love the wife. When you read Colossians 3:19, it says that husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Ephesians 5:25, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth I start by saying that if you want to harness the potential of a woman, you must love a woman. If you won't love your wife, then you may not harness the potential, or the potential may not come, because she will dry out. Paul said we should love just like Christ loved the church. And how did Christ love the church? Christ gave himself to the church. So you must give yourself to your wife. What does it mean? It means that you must be ready to give your body or yourself to your wife. So I asked myself, when you were going to the altar, and even before that, when you ask you, do you love this woman? Or even before that, when I go to propose to a woman, I'm sure you say, I love you. What did you mean by I love you? You have your own definition of I love you. I'm saying that with that I love you, continue with that. Paul said, and don't be bitter with them. Many men, for some reasons, are bitter with their wives. Many men. You have to do a 1 on 1 to find out why they are bitter. But Paul knew it. So Paul said, and when you listen to men, you'll be sharing some of the thoughts. Men are bitter against women, or husbands are bitter against their wives. But I want to encourage you. You can't run away from the fact that you, the man, you must love your wife. And I list a number of things. So the loving her is the umbrella thing. But when it goes on, I talk about other things that you must do. Learning to say, I love you. 3 magical words that works on the woman. A man will say, my actions show that I love her. But remember, we said women are different from men. One of the things women
I bought you a Louis Vuitton bag.
Yes.
I bought you a Gucci bag.
Yes.
I got you please give me some of the names of the designers. Prada shoe.
Yes.
Bought you a Rolex watch. Bought you all those things.
Yes.
So if I don't tell you that I love you, can't see
It has to be expressed.
Yes, express.
I've expressed it by this.
So that is why that's why last week we established that women are different from men. So don't expect a woman to be like a man. So as a man, or for a man, if I express it, it's fine. If I show you those things, it's fine. But the woman wants to hear it. So love her, make your mind to love her. Use those words, I love you. 3, make her happy. Make your wife happy. Whatever you're going to do to make your wife happy, just do it. Find what makes her happy. And should I say, a woman or satisfy her wife, it's a project. It's a
Say that again.
satisfy
Your wife. It's a project.
not even a project, a major project.
Yeah.
It's a major project. So it's like you are a project manager, head of project management unit, and you are implementing the project.
Reverend Dzadzra, I made up my mind to marry a helpmate,
Yes.
not work.
It is not work.
The project necessary.
So you married a helmet for the helmet to function well, so you can benefit.
You have to work on
You have to work on it. It's work. I remember when I was going to get married, one of my senior mentors said, "Are you ready to work? Marriage is work. Loving a woman is work. So make your mind to make your wife happy, and don't just assume things. Find out what she loves, what makes her happy, and do it for her. Remember, we are trying to harness that potential. So we are trying to talk about things that will make the woman function, and help you as a man. Many men complain that their women don't do this, don't do that, but sometimes it's just because you don't get these things right. 4, make her a priority. You said, the Bible says that, therefore a man shall leave the father and mother and cleave. If you cleave to a woman, she should be And when it comes to the matter of Sarah and Hagar, Hagar leaves. Nobody comes in between Abraham and Sarah. Hagar must leave. So the same way, let your wife know that she is a priority. And how do you go about it? Give her attention. Listen to her. Let her know that when you start talking to her, or she start talking to you, you put everything aside and you pay attention to her. Other things you can do. Sexually satisfy her. And let me talk to the men. You cannot jump on her and just do the thing and go to the bed without getting her to reach orgasm. Yeah. But which plan is it? That you, the man, you just go chop and then that's it. You don't care what happens to her. And that thing brings moodiness, brings anger, resentment. So she doesn't react to you well. You don't understand why she's not reacting to you well. Because you are too selfish. Why will you do that to a woman? And why will you do that to your wife? If you go and chase somebody out there, you can do that thing to that person. But when it comes home, we don't call it sex, we call it love making. Love making, you must make your wife also come. Don't just come and smell. Women are out there and they are not being satisfied. And then you ask yourself, why is my wife not helping me? Why is my wife always angry? Why is my wife talking to me like this? She will talk to you like that because she's not satisfied. But any woman who is satisfied that way, you can be sure she will respond to you positively. And that is where you see them doing things. And somebody will say, their moment has come. They are ready to do anything for you. So there are a couple of things that you must do to get your wife satisfied. And when your wife is satisfied, you can be sure you will get her cooperation and she will be the right helpmate that you want. Appreciate her. When your wife does something for you, even if you make laugh, thank her. When she makes food for you, thank her. Whatever she does for you, compliment, give her compliments, appreciate her. And the other thing I want to say is that learn to provide for the family. And this is a tricky one. There are situations where even sometimes the woman gets more than the man. Even the woman is the one who is, yes. But can you just take that responsibility as a man who is taking care of the family? Because taking care of the family doesn't mean that you are the one who pays more. Taking care of the family means that you are the one who is responsible for the upkeep of the house. You put resources together, and that resources come from you and your wife. But it gets to the point where some men forget about even how the house is run. Why? Because they don't have, so they don't even want to discuss it. No. It's important that you still play that role of a man. You sit down with your wife, discuss the budget, discuss the resources, discuss the income. And when the income is not enough, you know your wife can add to it. But to behave as if you don't know what happens, you don't care what happens in the house, the woman should take care of the house and the children. That one is not fair. And that one, the woman reacts to it. The women are ready to help us as men. But as heads of homes, we should be ready to transparently discuss these issues with them. And when you discuss these issues with them, the woman will be ready to help you. May God bless all of us so that we are able to take care. Like as a famous here, may show man. If all things work out, like if all things share man, because the person is sitting there somewhere with the father, you went to pick her from her home and brought you to your house. So why would you take her away? But in our economic circumstances, it's not like that. The woman must help the man. But the way we handle it, the way we get them to help us, it's very important. The way we discuss it, the way we discuss it with them, so you can solicit their help, is very, very important. How many minutes more do you have? Just a minute. Okay. And include in all your decisions. Include her in your decisions. She's your helpmate. Women love to help us in our decision making. But like sometimes we discuss, some men take decisions alone without caring that there's a helpmate. So how can you have a wife as a helpmate? And sometimes I listen to some of these young girls, very intelligent women, and I wonder, so the men don't listen to them. I wonder that you have such an intelligent woman. When people come from class, I ask the guys, so are you from class 1 to class 3? Are you the one who is always first in class? He said, no. I said, don't the women, some women also be just, oh, yeah, sometimes I'm 10th. The women are first. I said, okay. So can you imagine those women who are first? The husband don't listen to them because they are just women. They are just women. And so we must involve the women in our decisions. When you involve women in your decisions, they get to know your plans and they help you. Like I told you, their intuitive sense helps you to do what God expects you to do.
That's quite I'm sure it's a whole book. In fact, it's in his book. That's a whole book we'll go through it, and adhering to all these principles will make you as a man bring the best out of your woman, and that's to your benefit, right? I want your take on that. Interestingly, like time has developed wings, you know.
Yes, like Reverend said, I do agree with him. But one of the things I also want to say is that for us to harness the potential of women, we must include them respectfully. A lot of times it's at the last minute that we say, oh, let me talk to my wife.
When it doesn't work.
Let me talk to her. It's like it's always that last point of call. But when you trust that you're married to a wise person, you have gone to find something. I don't think as a man you would think you have gone to find something that is not worth your time. So anytime a man demeans a woman in the concept of marriage, I always ask, so what did you go to find? It goes back to you. So if your wife is irresponsible, that's what you were looking, that's what you found and you took it. So you have to now harness that person by respecting that she's even in the same community with you. Include her in your decision. I guess Abigail left Nabal because she couldn't place him anywhere anymore. He was rich, but he was unwise. And so Abigail saw David and said,
what was his name? So
yes. But Naboth was foolish, and Abigail saw wisdom to save him and still left him for David. Because she knew that I could build something with this man. The way he's going and the way he's controlling his army, I can be part of this winning team. But with Naboth,
for a man who is probably listening to us and saying, oh, you don't know my wife. She has a competitive spirit.
In the beginning,
she would say no to everything, every idea you bring. And it's the reason why many men would say, I don't want to involve her. I'm the leader, I think, and then if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I'll take responsibility.
A house divided by itself cannot stand. So if you think your wife is complex, the Bible says that wash her with the word. Wash your wife. She is your wife. You see, we have not gotten to the place of, in terms of marriage, where the man owns the woman. She is yours. The Bible says that the virgin until she is of age belongs to the Lord. But the married woman is to please the husband. Likewise, the married man. So if you are to please your wife, you need to draw from her, like harness that potential. Every woman is sweet, was created to help, to be compatible to that person, to help you accomplish. But when we don't see the leader in you, then we become frustrated. We're not able to also pour ourselves out. But if you know your wife is competitive in what she does, you draw her to yourself. Assure her that in this home, you are part of this team. I believe in you. I respect you. And that way, you are opening the bowels of her, whether intellectually, whether spiritually, you're opening that woman up to be involved in what will grow the family. But if you don't include her, like Pastor said, Reverend said, she will just be looking at you laughing because it won't work. We have become one house. And if families will listen to this, we have become one. And if we're divided, we cannot stand. Women marry difficult men and they ask them to stay put. Why can't men who marry difficult women wash them by the word of God? It says that you may present her back to yourself as one without because she would not want to lose. And that's what attracted you to her.
So the skill to actually harness that and make it
you need
benefit
to
you.
get a skill.
is
So that's why you dwell with them with understanding. So if she is the one you think she's difficult, how do I get her attention? She was born from a home. There's somebody who have worked her and it has worked. But for you to harness that, you need to learn the skill, the art of to metamorphose somebody to a new thing, transform the person. And that's why marriage is beautiful. That maybe you got married a shy person because of your many engagement with your spouse, you have become another person. And when I talk about help, we don't always talk about help in terms of washing, cleaning. We're talking about intellectual involvement. I always say that we have omitted that place of intellectualism when we come to help. We always think that a woman should wash, clean, and do all of those things. But I think that a woman is way valuable.
Right.
Than that.
Right. It's just amazing. I wish I could pay some dollars and buy time, but it's not important. It's not possible to buy time. Also, so we've got to draw down the curtain quickly. A program is coming up, Mr. Maureen, and I want you to tell us about it quickly, and then Rev will tell us as to.
Oh yes, it's a marriage school we're starting to create that concept of marriage as it is in the modern world today. For instance, if we're talking about marriage, communication, sex, and finance, we talk about it as real as it is. That women are working, men are working. What do we do? We're talking about sex. There are styles that people have not been able to talk about. And we're going to discuss the in-law management and tribal differences in marriage, how to manage all of those things, how to raise godly children, not children who are depressed, not a marriage school that will change your marriage practically. So we have them in sessions, and it's going to start in August.
Okay.
But we'll have you,
we'll
have you know when we start. But
we just can't wait for it. My fingers are so crossed.
Yes. We'll get you posted.
Where do we get the copies of the book Redefined?
You get them on the Amazon and then the EPP bookshop, Challenge bookshops, Kingdom bookshops, Media, Methodist Book Depot, and then you can order them also. You can also contact us on our social media handles at Dzadzra. YouTube.
Dzadzra is Dzadzra. Right. Thank you very much. So I've had Reverend Anthony Dzadzra and Mrs. Maureen Frimpong, the sweetheart, the one, the only I, Pastor Frimpong, right here in the studios of Joy 99.7 FM. And this has been a walk with Jesus. Many thanks to Michaela for the production. And Uncle Ken is so ready to treat us to some beautiful, beautiful jazz tunes you can't afford to miss. Uncle Ken.
Yes, Prof.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, and good evening to Madam and to
Reverend Dzadzra.
Yes, I've enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you.
I don't want to go any further.
I know, right? I know. But have you met Pastor Kojo's wife before?
I think we did. The last time they were here.
Okay.
I think she was here with Pastor Kojo.
Yes. Okay.
And that was the first time I had ever seen Pastor Kojo.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. That's true. I remember
so
now.
I remember her.
I remember. So meet her again.
Yes.
All right then. So leaving you in the able hands of Uncle Ken Adi. My name is Ato Acquah.